Welcome to MMA on the Rocks. My name is Bill Welker. You were listening to episode 264 of the podcast. Are you joining us live on YouTube and Twitter? Apparently, we've been banned from Facebook. I've just been notified of this now as I was trying to start the show. So there's that. If you want to catch the show live, set your notifications on YouTube or follow the show at MMA on Rocks on Twitter, and I guess Facebook is done. We're banned, Jeff. Which in any case, today's Saturday, November 13th. For anybody who's keeping track, 7:15 in the PM, and I am joined all the way back in New Jersey after basically red eyeing it back from Florida last week. Jeff, the animal Wilson. Jeff, how you feeling on this Sunday afternoon? Not having a screaming toddler in the background like I do.
Yeah, Bill. I feel awesome. First week back at work, and Bill, this felt like the longest week. Like my boss wanted me to do stuff, and I kind of just thought that I would, wade into being back at work. But it's go time, and it was a little bit of a culture shock, Bill. I went from relaxing and not having to do anything to, having to do stuff.
How dare she, Jeff? How dare she ask you to work at work? Doesn't
Bill,
she
it's
know this is Joe Biden's America? Nobody has to work.
Yeah, Bill. I don't mind working. I just don't want to be bothered with it. That's the thing.
I hear you.
But
Yeah, work is quite a bother. Can be anyway.
yeah, but Bill, going back to the Facebook thing. I mean, who cares if we're banned from Facebook, Bill? We don't need them anyway.
Yeah, right. They can keep their fucking metaverse or whatever they're doing. I don't know. They're doing some kind of virtual reality thing where it's like you can live like a life that's like not really yours in virtual reality, and you never have to interact with people.
Are they gonna pay me money to not have to interact with people? Because the bills are gonna keep coming. Bill,
Yeah,
what's this nonsense you're talking about?
I don't know, but like hopefully everybody involved in this like just stops breeding because they don't interact with people, and then we could just be done with them. Um, in any case, Jeff, um, what's going on with you, man? What else? Just been working since you got back from Florida, huh?
Yeah, but I'll be honest with you. As much as I joke around, I did miss being in the classroom. It was nice to see my kids. One of them, he's not really a behavior issue, but he doesn't really. His school's not his thing.
All right.
I walk in and and he's like, "I can't believe I'm saying this, but I missed you." And I was like, "Good, because we got some work to do." And he was like, "I didn't miss you that much."
Yeah, and then you put them in detention. I never did that, Jeff. When I was a teacher, I would like almost never assign detention because usually the detention would be like during my lunch break. So then
Hmm.
I would have to have like the worst behaved kids sitting with me on my lunchtime. Like that's not enjoyable for anybody. So I would never put the kids in detention, but I never really had behavioral issues in the classroom. I always had like the kids were always well behaved in my class. That I was the teacher that the other teachers would send the misbehaving kids into my class when they kicked them out. But yeah, I wasn't a big believer in detention. Um a few mishaps this morning, Jeff. So the wife and I are both had some, I guess, like airheady moments that had some pretty catastrophic results. So Claudia this morning was trying to clean a cast iron pan, and she heated it up on the stove and was scrubbing it with a like a special brush for the cast iron. And then it was piping hot, and she went to go rinse it, and put the water on it, and the steam blasted her and burned her hand. Like,
Jeez.
I don't know if it's like a 3rd-degree burn or something. So basically, no use of the hand. So me trying to be, the helpful partner that I am, I'm like, all right, well, I'll make lunch for us, and I had made some short ribs in the slow cooker yesterday, and I just we didn't end up eating it for dinner yesterday because it was taking too long to cook. So I just took the crock pot out of the apparatus, put it in the fridge. And I was like, all right, I'll just heat up the whole thing, thinking like, well, this pot is, it's designed to take heat because it goes inside the slow cooker. So I just put it right on top of the electric stove and put the heat on low to kind of, heat up the broth and everything. Next thing I hear, like, water sizzling. So I go and I'm like, why is there water underneath the pot? So I grab some oven mitts and I go to lift the pot up, Jeff, and the bottom of it stayed on the stove and the rest of the pot detached. And when I picked it up, about a gallon of broth goes everywhere, all over the stove, into the electric components. I don't know. There's like shards of ceramic in the short ribs. Apparently, you're not supposed to put the crock pot on the stove. I thought, like, if I just did it low heat, what's the difference? It goes in the cooker. It's built for, heat, for like convection, but that's not the case. So let that be a lesson to all of you listening to this. If you have a slow cooker, do not, under any circumstances, put the pot on the stove, or you will be mopping up broth for a majority of your afternoon.
Bill,
So
I leave you alone for 5 minutes. And now you lay this shit on me, Bill?
Mark says we need to hire a chef. The funny part of it is, like, me, Jeff, I know my way around the kitchen. Like, I if I do say so myself, I can whip up a meal pretty handily. And the wife attended culinary school in New York City. But between the two of us, apparently we don't know how to handle the pots and pans, Jeff. We're just it's a mess in the Welker household. It's a mess, kid. I don't know what's going on. I think we need you to come back and keep us in check here.
Oh man, dude. I mean, it's funny talking about it now, but I'm sure in the moment I would have been very upset.
Yeah. Speaking of upset, I'm not upset that we're banned from Facebook, but like, I would love to know why.
They'll
Like,
never tell us, Bill.
yeah, I know. I feel like it would just be so satisfying. Like, what did I say? Like, it could have been any number of things, Jeff. I do tend to get a little tipsy on the airwaves sometimes, and I'm over the top and under the influence. It doesn't vibe with the folks over at Facebook. They had to go and try to silence us, but here we are on YouTube and Twitter until they get fed up with us, I guess. Then we'll have to we'll do the Spotify video. We'll like see if I get on Joe Rogan's channel or something. But in any case, I listened to a few Joe Rogan episodes lately, Jeff. He had Jewel, the singer Jewel, on his show. She's got a crazy ass story, man. She was born in Alaska, ran away from home at like 15 years old, just was like singing in bars and coffee shops, and then got discovered by some radio DJ who invited her to like sing at the studio, and he recorded it, and then it started getting requested like crazy, and then all these record labels went into a bidding war over her. And this was in the 90s when like grunge was all the rage.
Hmm.
And the story just gets wilder and wilder. Her mom stole $100 million from her and left her broke. when she was like kind of like thinking of retiring from music, and she's like, well, I guess that's out the window. Just had a wild life, and Joe did a really good job interviewing her. I don't think he gets enough credit as a skilled interviewer, because these days it's like it's popular to hate on Joe Rogan because he's made $100 million with Spotify, and
Yeah, Bill.
takes horse dewormer to cure his.
Bill, we people are calling it the kitchen sink treatment. All right, but it works apparently. All right.
The kitchen sink treatment, the
Yeah.
ivermectin.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's like unnecessary, like it's so
No.
much.
No, because I think there's a bunch of other stuff that he had to take with it. But
Uh,
but yeah, dude, it's like becoming a national pastime to just hate on Joe Rogan.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and that happens when you hit a certain level of success. Like I guess we hit our first milestone getting banned by Facebook. Like I feel like that's like we're on our way now, Jeff. It's not about the numbers and how many people are listening. Like Facebook banned us. Like we're on the outskirts now. We're edgy.
We're rebels without a cause. But
Yeah.
you know what? You know what I think it is? Probably that Miesha Tate comment you made last week about having our shirt on her bosom.
I didn't say that on the show.
Neither did I.
Damn it, we just got banned from Twitter. I don't know. Did I say it? I was I was I was very impaired on that episode last week because you were going to
Yeah.
get on an early flight, so we had to do it like at the end of the fight card at whatever it was, 1:30 in the morning. I don't remember, Jeff, and unfortunately there's no way to know cuz I'm not going to go back and listen to it. So,
Yeah.
here we are. Like whatever was said, I wish they would have like sent me an email or something like tell me how I violated their policy, and I would definitely do more of that. Uh, because like we've had opportunities to be part of like podcast networks and stuff, and like it may have gotten a little more exposure, but I don't want to answer to anybody. Like I do this for fun, and it's fun because I get to do what I want. It wouldn't be fun if I had to do what somebody else wanted. um in any case, let's talk about some fights. I'm so happy that it's 7:30 at night. The fight card is over. We're 13 minutes into an episode. My kid's in the bath already. She'll probably be asleep by the time we're done here. And then I could like watch a movie or something. Like this is a beautiful Saturday. Um so Jeff, if Chandler Gaethje doesn't happen last week, and if Billy Quarantillo Shane Burgos doesn't happen last week, this might have been fight of the year. Holy shit, Max Holloway and Yair Rodriguez. These guys put on a show. UFC Vegas 42. This was a fight that, I'm usually neutral when it comes to, the crowd, no crowd. This is a fight that deserved a live crowd. Like I feel like it would have been even more intense somehow. But this is a contender in my book for fight of the year, Jeff. Like, this was back and forth. You had grappling exchanges. You had every kind of strike in the book thrown. Every kind of grappling position, chokes, leg locks, arm bars, blood, swollen eyes. What more could you want from a main event? And this was a fantastic card, especially after how amazing last week was. Last week was the best pay-per-view of the year, easily, maybe one of the best pay-per-views ever. Give me your thoughts on this main event, Jeff.
Bill, this entire card was ridiculous, dude. From the prelims to the main event, finishes all over the place. Finishes everywhere, Bill. Like, all over the place. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you can't throw a rock at this card without hitting a finish. All right?
Yeah.
Like, if we put all the fights on a wheel and spun the wheel, You'd land on a finish just about every time, dude. But anyway, Bill, Holloway versus Rodriguez. I did not expect us to get that good of a fight, man. Rodriguez has been out for 2 years, ducking fights. What I didn't think this would happen until they touched gloves. And dude, I'll be honest with you, I thought Holloway would have an easier time with Yair Rodriguez, but Rodriguez put the pressure on him. I actually gave that first round to Rodriguez,
Mm-hmm.
which I think some of the judges did too. One judge had it 49-46.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, what a fight, man. Both of these guys cut up at the end. Holloway's got a cut at the edge of his eyebrow. He's got a fat lip. Um, and just they kept the pace for all 5 rounds, dude. And there's so many highlights in this one, man. When Holloway backed Rodriguez up to the cage and then hit him with a flying knee, Rodriguez in that 5th round busting out that soccer bicycle kick, and Holloway stepped back and then just punched him in the face when he was down, dude. Oh my gosh, dude! I want to go back and watch this fight like right now.
Yeah. Well, wait till we're done with the show, but yeah, definitely do that. Um, Imagine being Yair Rodriguez after the 4th round and your coach is telling you, yeah, so we need to finish Max Holloway in the 5th round. And here you are, one eye almost swollen shut. You broke your right foot. I don't know if you saw that, Jeff. His right foot was broken pretty bad. It was swollen up like a water balloon. Um, Imagine just like sitting there like, fuck, I'm gonna have to finish a guy who's never been knocked down. And it's like, I don't have the tools to submit him. So I need to knock out a guy in the 5th round who gets stronger as the fight goes on and has never been knocked down in the UFC. Good fucking luck to you. But that didn't discourage him. He was there like right in Holloway's face. Um, it's weird because I thought it was a one-sided fight, but at the same time, it was competitive. Like Yair was never out of it. I scored that 1st round for him as well. I gave Max a 10-8 in the second, and then every other round a 10-9 for Max. So I guess I had it 49-45 for Max Holloway. But even if you'd scored it that way, like looking at the score doesn't do it justice because, and what about Max Holloway's chin, man? Like he might have pound for pound the best chin of all time. Like the shots he took that up elbow that knocked out the zombie. He took a flying knee to the face. He took a couple of kicks. I think it was one of those kicks to the head that broke Yair's foot. Either that or it was one that I think Max checked with his elbow. But Max Holloway's chin is insane. And you know what else I noticed too is his striking is so good and so accurate because he fights with his eyes open so wide. Like he's looking like this the whole time. Like he just did an 8-ball of cocaine and washed it down with a Four Loco. And I was like, man, that's why this dude's striking is so accurate. Man, what a fight, man. How do you not have respect for either of these guys? But what do you do with Max Holloway now? Because that's 2 dominant victories in a row. He's already the number 1 in the division, but he has 2 losses to the champ, Alex Volkanovski. Now, you and I and pretty much everybody else watching that last Volkanovski fight know that Max Holloway won, but on paper he's down 2-0 to the champ. So what do you do here, Jeff? You put him in for that 3rd match, or do you give Volkanovski somebody else and kind of roll the dice and hope he loses?
I think you have to go with that latter option, dude. Um, Unfortunately, like you said, 2 losses to the champ is not a good resume for Holloway. Trying to get a title shot here. Um, I mean, I like him at 155, at least for a little bit until the bottlenecking at the top is sorted out at 145.
Mm-hmm.
But Bill, I wanted to address that Yair Rodriguez, those kicks, man, because um, you know, you could hear them landing, but to me, it looked like they were landing wrong, Bill. It looked like he was landing with his foot as opposed to his shin. So, I don't know how much damage they were actually doing to Holloway, especially the kicks that were higher up. The calf kicks were landing pretty good, but
Mm-hmm.
the kicks that were more towards the thighs, it just looked like Rodriguez. What like the finish on them was not very good. It looked like his he was kind of landing with like where the shoelaces would be on your foot instead of the shin. So I wasn't surprised that his foot was broken at the end of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So I'm looking at the rankings here, Jeff, and looking at this, I'd say what you have to do is throw Giga Chikadze in there with Volkanovski. Like there's nobody else. If you go down the rankings, Max Holloway is number 1. Brian Ortega just lost to him. Yair Rodriguez is number 3, just lost. Korean Zombie coming off a loss. Calvin Kattar coming off a loss. He's at number 5. Then you got Arnold Allen, Josh Emmett. I don't know what's going on with Josh Emmett. He hasn't been very active lately.
Didn't he
Arnold
break his
Allen,
hand in like a recent fight?
yeah, I think he has a consistent problem with breaking his hand. Um, Arnold Allen, I just think, you know, doesn't have the name recognition to go in for the title shot. But Chikadze, he's got some hype now. He's got a little fire under him. I guess you, I guess that's the move, Jeff. Um, looking at this, and if you keep going down the list, Dan Ige, who I believe is coming off a loss, Edson Barboza is number 10. Then you're out of the top 10. You can't put somebody out of the top 10 in there with the champ. Um,
Hmm.
I think Volkanovski Chikadze is the way to do it. Um, but then what do you do with Max Holloway? Like if he wants to stay busy, Ortega he smashed, Rodriguez he just beat. Zombie's coming off a loss. He just destroyed Calvin Kattar. You got to go down to Arnold Allen. And after, you know, winning a title fight but losing the decision, and then 2 amazing victories in a row, you're going to give him the number 6 guy. It's tough, man. Like it's all signs point to you got to put him in there with Volkanovski again, but how many people want to see that? And I know Volkanovski doesn't want to do it. He's like, oh, if you're him, he's like, I beat this guy twice. Like, what more do you want me to do?
Bill, I'll
So
be honest with you. Yeah, and this stuff like this happens in the UFC all the time. But I wouldn't hate seeing Volkanovski versus Edson Barboza. I think the Giga Chikadze fight is good too. Or Bill, shot out of a cannon here. Let's get Henry Cejudo back in there to fight Volkanovski and have him become quadruple C.
yeah, I mean, that's an option too. He did come out and ask for it. The problem is, you know, Cejudo is like the boy who cried fight. He's asking for intergender fights and he's asking for like all this ridiculous shit. And then he comes out and he's like, I want to fight Volkanovski. And everybody's like, yeah, okay, Henry, go back to smoking weed with Mike Tyson. And he's like, no, seriously, I want to fight him. Everybody's like, yeah, all right, son, go, go make some more cringy salsa videos on TikTok or whatever you're doing now. Mark corrected me that Korean Zombie defeated Dan Ige in his last fight. So he's not coming off a loss, but it does say something that I don't remember that even happening. Like, I believe you. I definitely believe you, but like, it's just not registering. I don't know. It wasn't very memorable to me, I guess. But yeah, Korean Zombie Holloway would be fun. If you want to get rid of the Korean Zombie, because like I don't think he wins that fight. Um, let's march along here, Jeff. Marcos Rogerio de Lima with a 32-second knockout of Ben Rothwell. That has to be the fastest Ben Rothwell has ever been finished. Um, Ben Rothwell is still young in this heavyweight division. What's he, 46? 45? Something like that?
Yeah, he's the big 4-0, dude.
Is he? He's 40?
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh, 40. Yeah, you could start your heavyweight career at 40. and then retire and fight in Bellator when you're 65. Um, De Lima, man, this guy is a scary dude. He's not a big heavyweight. Let me see his.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Oh, he's 6'1". I guess Rothwell is just so huge, but I don't think he's 6'1", Jeff. I think they're.
Yeah, he's got to be like 5'11", dude.
Yeah, I think he was like standing on his tippy toes when they were measuring him for this for these stats here. I don't. That guy didn't look 6'1". He looked like he was like 5'8", like swinging up at like jumping off the ground to connect with Rothwell's chin. But man, he had him wobbled like a couple of times. Like, credit to Rothwell, he was out on his feet and he was able to stay up until he couldn't anymore. And then the stoppage was a little weird because Herb Dean like kind of touched De Lima to stop it, but then backed off. So De Lima stopped defending the takedown, and Rothwell is in on a leg. So then De Lima's like, "Am I stopping or not?" And Herb like paused for half a second, and he's like, "Yeah, stop." He's like,
um,
"Yeah." It was the right call because then when De Lima got up, like Rothwell was still like face down on the canvas, like he was not there. But just the way it happened to go down, like I don't even blame Herb Dean. It was just like an awkward. It was just like an awkward thing. But
yeah, dude.
what do you think of this one, Jeff?
Yeah, dude. Definitely a little bit of a weird finish after that last shot. Rothwell, it kind of fell into De Lima, and De Lima caught him in kind of like a guillotine position. But
Mm-hmm.
good sportsmanship from De Lima, dude, because he could have just kept wailing on Ben Rothwell, and instead he stopped and looked at Herb Dean just to make sure.
Yeah,
So I appreciate stuff like that, man. But yeah, dude, credit to Ben Rothwell, such a tough dude, and I think too tough for his own good in this situation. So great stoppage from Herb Dean. But dude, De Lima just, well, he was coming to take Rothwell's head off, and you could tell from the first punch that connected, that like really connected, Rothwell was already backing up, man. So you could tell he was not. It was not going to be a good day for him.
yeah, yeah. A good point on the sportsmanship by De Lima. He was like, "Stop!" Right? Like, because I guess Herb Dean said stop, and he touched him. Like, once you touch the guy, like you got to end it
Yeah.
because then if the guy does the right thing, like De Lima, he's gonna stop hitting, and then he's vulnerable.
Hmm.
So imagine he backs off, and then Rothwell stands up with just like a Street Fighter uppercut and puts De Lima out. And Rothwell's like, "Well, I didn't know we stopped. You didn't touch me." And then De Lima wakes up and he's like, "What the fuck, Herb? You told me to stop." um, Felicia Spencer just battered Leah Letson. This was, I mean, there was only like a minute or so that Letson was like kind of in this fight when she hit a takedown. What was it? At the beginning of the second or third round? I feel you would think I just watched this. Um, but she had that one takedown. But other than that, man, Felicia Spencer, like there was a couple of times where you could tell Mark Smith was thinking about stopping this one. And then he finally had to jump in and give me your thoughts here, Jeff, on this one-sided beatdown.
Yeah, dude, Leah Letson was not ready. I thought this is her first fight back in about 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. And I just thought that Felicia Spencer, man, was not that she is not the fight you want to come back for, man. Yeah, Spencer just had her up against the cage the entire fight. I don't even, Bill. I watched all three of these rounds. I don't even remember. I couldn't even tell you when the takedown happened. I know it did happen, but Felicia Spencer just got up and kept wailing on her. So I'm glad the fight was stopped when it was.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, dude, just not a good night for Leah Letson. And in between rounds, I can't remember if it was in between the second and third round. She was telling her corner that her stomach was cramping up. So she, when that happens, that she's not even hydrated at that point. She's probably had a tough weight cut or something. And Felicia Spencer, Yeah, good for her. She got in there and got the job done.
Yeah, speaking of job, like every time she gets in there, she's probably fighting for her job because you would think that 145-pound division is going to be on the chopping block. You know, there's nobody to contend with the champ. They've just been having like 135-pounders kind of bump up to fight her. Even if you get Kayla Harrison over here and get her to cut down to 145, I don't think those two are going to fight because they're teammates. Um, supposedly they're not in the same room with each other anymore, but they're both, they're at the same gym, and I guess they separated them, in case there was a chance they ever would fight, but I don't feel like they will. So I don't know, that division is just going to constantly be under the microscope, but if you're judging it on that fight, then, I'd say keep it around.
I don't know, man. It's not a very strong argument to keep the division around, but Bill, I don't see the Kayla Harrison fight materializing either for two reasons. One,
Mhm.
like you said, I don't think Harrison goes down to 145. She's just too muscular, I feel
She
like.
has done it before. She
Yeah.
did
Oh.
it in between PFL seasons. I think she fought for Invicta or somewhere
Mm,
else, and she made the weight once. So like she can do it, but she's a thick girl.
yeah.
So
And then the other problem is, um, like you said, they're teammates, and I don't think Kayla Harrison just has the experience where she would want to even fight Amanda Nunez. I mean, Amanda Nunez is an animal, dude.
yeah, so is Kayla Harrison.
Fair enough.
There's the discrepancy in the striking, obviously, but Kayla's going to be a little bit bigger, and if she gets her hands on Amanda, Amanda's a good black belt, but you get stuck under Kayla Harrison. I don't care how good your black belt is. Like that's a suffocating time for anybody. I would be interested in it, but we would just be treading water talking about it since it may never come together. Song Yadong with the second round TKO over Julio Arce. Give me your thoughts, Jeff.
Bill Song Yadong blasted this dude, man. Julio Arce, he didn't do too much wrong, but Song Yadong, his striking is so fast, so technical, and he puts power into everything, dude. And it looked like everything that connected was hurting Julio Arce bad. I was surprised that it even went to a second round. It looked like Song Yadong was teeing up the finish even in that first round.
Mm-hmm.
But Bill, Song Yadong, as much as we've made fun of his name on this show, I think we're both fans of his. Man, he is a great young Chinese fighter, and this was a statement, dude. Julio Arce is a tough customer in this bantamweight division, and Song Yadong's been a little quiet. It's been a while since we've seen him in the cage, but man, he was awesome tonight, dude. Looked flawless.
Yeah, for sure. Devastating. Like, and Julio Arce is a tough dude, man. So the fact that he was able to do it to him, really says a lot. Joel Alvarez looked just incredibly dominant, knocking out Thiago Moises in the first round, 3 minutes, 1 second. Um, he was just never not in control of this fight. Give me your thoughts, Jeff.
Yeah, dude. Joel Alvarez, another sniper shot, man. Thiago Moises, everything was hurting him, dude. And for some reason, I can't remember the knockout. I think it was a 1-2 that knocked him out. But Thiago Moises and even Julio Arce too, they both folded up like lawn chairs, dude.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, for some reason, the I remember. Oh, you know what it was? Joel Alvarez caught Thiago Moises' kick and then just like went to town on him. But yeah, definitely go back and watch this one. All I think most of the prelims were finishes. But yeah, Alvarez Moises on the prelims, really good fight. And like you said, man, Joe Alvarez from the first strike that connected, Thiago Moises, he shelled up a lot. Everything was hurting him, man. So
Hmm.
very, very calculated finish from Joel Alvarez. And Bill, I think we may have missed a fight on the main card here. Did we talk
Yeah,
about
yeah. I
or
just
did you do that
noticed
on
that.
purpose?
No, I don't know. I don't know why I passed over. I think it was the way I like scrolled on the screen. But yeah, Chaos Williams and the third round TKO of Miguel Baeza. Man, what a shitty night for Baeza. He gets his balls blasted in twice, and then he gets knocked out. Like that was shitty. But credit to Chaos Williams, man. He go low and then go high. He went, low blows and then he went high to knock out Baeza. And Baeza was saying he was still with it, but he wasn't. And Baez is a man that I feel like they just brought him up a little too quick, throwing him in there with Ponzinibbio. Like he held his own, but you got an undefeated kid like him who's well rounded, good striker, solid grappling, um, good looking kid, marketable. Like you gotta kind of I'm not saying like hold his hand and baby him, but don't throw him into the deep waters and like let him have a war that early into his 10 fights into his career. Having a war like that with a guy like Ponzinibbio, that'll change you. And then he was doing well in this fight with Williams. Like I thought this was like a really competitive fight until it wasn't. What do you think, Jeff?
Yeah, Bill, it looked like the calf kicks were really working for Baeza. But then there was one, man, where Chaos Williams, as soon as he got hit, Baeza, I guess Williams noticed, but every time that he threw a calf kick, his hands would come down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Williams capitalized. Chaos Williams hits this overhand right and then hits him with a 1-2, and Baeza just folded up like a lawn chair, goes down like a sack of bricks, dude. It looked like his knee bent like behind his body too, kind of like the
Mm-hmm.
Mirko Krokop when he got knocked out, dude. But Baeza got up and was protesting, but it looked like Baeza didn't know where he
Mm-hmm.
was, dude. Oh man, like he was talking to the ref, and I was just like, no, dude, like you went out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it
Yeah.
was bad.
Yeah, and there's only so many times you could throw a leg kick without setting it up until your opponent is able to time it. Like we saw it in the Max Holloway fight too. Yair Rodriguez got away with that leg kick so many times, and then Holloway was like, "All right." As soon as he started to throw the kick, he hit him with that takedown. And same thing with Chaos Williams, and Williams was doing the completely wrong thing, reacting to these kicks. Like not only was he not checking them, but he was bending his knee to the inside every time these kicks connected, which is definitely not what you're supposed to do because you could blow your knee out like that. You could blow your knee out like when I was just teaching this on Thursday to my intro Muay Thai class. I was teaching them to hold a kick shield and telling them they have to point their knee out and bump into the kick because even with the kick shield, you could get your knee blown out if somebody kicks it hard enough and you're bending your knee in towards your other leg. So you always want your knee pointed out when you're checking those kicks. And not only did he eat the kick, eat it with the wrong technique, but he came forward and knocked the guy out. So it's like, you know, some people pass the test without reading the textbook, Jeff. It's just
Yeah, dude.
it's just some dudes are built that way.
Yeah, and Baeza wasn't doing too much wrong, man. I kind of had it 2 rounds for him,
Yeah, he's
and
got a super clean technique.
yeah, dude. And Chaos Williams just blasted him. Sheesh.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like you said, like there's so many finishes. One fight that was, technically a finish, I guess the corner threw in the towel, Andrea Lee, Cynthia Calvillo. So um, the official result is corner stoppage. So I guess the corner ended it. Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah, Bill. This fight was a little weird. Andrea Lee was clearly winning this fight, but Cynthia Calvillo, she looked like she was in it. Um, Not to offend her, but I was wondering if she made weight. She looked a little filled out for this one,
Uh huh.
but dude, I was actually really surprised when they stopped the fight. I was like, what the hell's going on? I actually had to rewind it a little bit on the ESPN Plus app. Um, but yeah, Calvillo just didn't get off the stool, and I think the corner stopped it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she just had her head down, and I don't know if she was exhausted or maybe she had a rough weight cut and she felt like she couldn't keep going. But um, I mean, I didn't think Andrea Lee was like close to finishing her,
Mm-hmm.
but I kind of had to fight for Andrea Lee, so
Yeah.
I mean, a win's a win.
Yeah, she was definitely winning. Like she was piecing her up, and they were both bloodied up a little bit, but you know, Andrea Lee, it would have been more of the same in the third round. And you never know. The corner might have known like she broke her nose in training or something, and
Mm,
or she might have like a certain tell when they know she's just broken, or they noticed an injury that wasn't very obvious. But credit to the corner for doing that, because a lot of them kind of send these guys and gals out there to just die on their shields, and won't pull the plug. So credit to the team for taking care of their fighter and making sure she lives to fight another day. Um, Sean Woodson. This is just nasty, man. Nasty combination, ripping to the body, TKO over Collin Anglin. These are both contender series fighters. Like, there are a lot of great fighters coming out of the contender series, man.
yeah.
Um, a bunch of them are on this card. So, give me your thoughts on Sean Woodson.
Dude, I felt so bad for Colin Anglin, dude. He just got chewed up by Sean Woodson. Anglin never looked like he was in this fight, unfortunately. I don't know if he was a little nervous, had the jitters making his UFC debut here, but Sean Woodson just ate him up, man. And he wasn't hitting him, with a lot of power, but just it was laser like precision, man. Always hitting that liver, hitting the body right by the diaphragm, and you could see Colin Anglin was just breaking, man. Good,
Yeah.
great stoppage. Good fight for Sean Woodson.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's like, how do you prepare for a guy who's 6'2" at 145 pounds?
Yeah.
And I had one of my fighters 2 weeks ago have this problem in Muay Thai. He was fighting at 150, and he was fighting a guy that was 6'3", and he just my guy was like 5'7", 5'8". So it's just like, what can you really do? You can't really prepare for that. Like, not every gym has a guy who's 6'3" and 149 pounds, at their disposal. So it's hard to prepare for a guy like Sean Woodson. There's not like a ton of tape on him. Um, and the fact that the guy is so long and so tall, and he's able to still like rip to the body like that is impressive, man. Because usually that's like a more compact fighter move, like
Mm.
Eddie Alvarez, Mike Tyson, like guys that are like stocky and they're low center of gravity, and they can just like sink down and rip into the body hard and stop dudes. Like, you usually don't see like the skinny, lanky guys throwing big power to the body. Like, that's very unusual. But then again, so is being 6'2" and 145 pounds.
Yeah, dude. Sean Woodson, he made it look so easy, dude. He tore Anglin up, man.
Mm-hmm. All right, Jeff. I'll just quickly go over the last few fights here. Courtney Casey, unanimous decision over Liana Jojua. Uh, Rafael Alves submitted Mark to Casey with a guillotine in the first round. And then Daun Jung knocked out Kennedy and Nzechukwu in the first round. And, who would have predicted that? Um, so I don't know. You want to react to any of those three, Jeff?
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna tell you right now, you can skip the Courtney Casey versus Joshua fight. That wasn't even close. But dude, the Down Jung knockout, man. Holy crap, dude. So in Kennedy and Nzechukwu, He has his guard up, and Down Jung is throwing elbows right into the guard, and I don't know how, but they're doing damage. And I'm gonna keep pronouncing his name wrong. And Kennedy
Nzechukwu.
Nzechukwu, thank you. So Nzechukwu is backing up. He's against the cage. He's wobbled, and Down Jong just keeps throwing those elbows, man. And Nzechukwu just goes down like a sack of bricks, man, right up against the cage. It was a nasty finish, dude. I did not see that one coming. Nzechukwu was actually the underdog on the Vegas odds, Bill, and I was really surprised because he's been on a little bit of a tear. He's got a lot of power, so I was really
Yeah.
surprised. But at the end of the fight, I was like, okay, now I see why he was the underdog. Um, and the Rafael Alves finish was really nice too, man. He hit Mark DeCasey hard. I think he landed a powerful 1-2. DeCasey was rocked, and um, Al and he just jumped on him for the guillotine finish. It was nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Both really impressive finishes. So, man, you can't ask for better than this for a card that was over by 7 p.m. Eastern time. Um,
2 decisions on the whole card.
yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. Plus, and one of the decisions was, possibly fight of the year contender. If you
Yeah.
ask me, like the more I'm reflecting on it, like if UFC 268 doesn't happen, I'm like, holy shit, this is a fight of the year. And the reason why it's more of a contender for it too is the 2 fights from last week that I would throw into the mix with this were 3-round fights. This was 5 rounds these guys were fighting at this pace. It was insane. But yeah, I mean, we knew this card was going to be good, but after a card like last week, you kind of expect everything to have the volume turned down a little bit, so to speak.
Yeah.
It
was a pleasant surprise.
Let's take a look at next week, Jeff. But let me tell you what I'm sipping on over here. Local brewery, Tampa Bay Brewing Company. You've been there. I had to get a pumpkin beer in, Jeff. I bought a 4-pack of these, and I haven't been drinking much beer. Just because they stick to me now, Jeff. I'm in my late 30s. Like I don't want to buy new pants. I want to stay in the pants that I own. But I picked this up and I was like, all right, let me just throw this in. I got my little beer fridge downstairs and up here with my second bar behind me. So, and then I was getting groceries last week and I realized like they're putting out all the winter beers already. I'm like, oh shit, I missed all the pumpkin beers. I thought they would have been around at least till Thanksgiving, but they're speeding everything up, Jeff. Like they're playing Christmas music in all the stores. Half the radio stations are playing Christmas music already. Like,
well, Bill, there might be a shortage this year on gifts, so Christmas might not even happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not much of a conspiracy theorist, but I feel like they're just trying to get people to spend money.
Well, it worked, Bill. I already got my Christmas shopping done for my niece and nephews.
Yeah, I think our Christmas shopping is done too. But
oh shit, that reminds me. What does Ariana want for Christmas? I'll order on Amazon.
we'll talk offline on that. Let's just talk about my kids' Christmas list. It's funny. It is funny though, Jeff, because she's into it this year. Like she's aware of like Santa and like presents and like starting to pick things out and like letting us know that we need to tell Santa what she wants. But in any case, this Gourd's Gone Wild Tampa Bay Brewing Company pumpkin ale. It's really good, Jeff. It's got like that like kind of brown sugar sweetness to it. It doesn't taste anything like a pumpkin. Like nothing. Like
I mean, that's what's on the label.
Like pumpkins taste like ass and dirt. Like
Bill, you've obviously never had pumpkin pie with whipped cream.
I thought you were gonna go somewhere else with that. You've never eaten ass with dirt. Obviously, it's delicious.
Bill, you can't knock anything until you've tried it once, man.
That's true. In any case, gore's gone wild. It doesn't taste like ass or dirt. Um, anything pumpkin flavored is really like pumpkin spices, like the seasoning that goes in the pumpkin pie, like your cinnamon and nutmeg and all that good stuff. But this doesn't have like a harsh spiciness to it. It's like like a smooth, like mellow sweetness, like brown sugar, vanilla kind of taste to it. It doesn't taste anything like a pumpkin. I don't know if they even put pumpkin in it. Like it's just like the spices, probably. I would assume. In any case, I had to have one pumpkin beer this season.
Yeah, Bill, I was getting concerned because you hadn't talked about it throughout all of October.
Yeah, right. And it's just like the season came and went. I'm glad I had the foresight to stash this away. I have there's another seasonal from this brewery. It's a red ale that comes out in the wintertime. So I bought like 4-packs because these tall boys come in 4-packs. Bought 2 4-packs of them at the end of last season because I knew it was almost time for them to go away. And I think I still have like almost all of them.
Bill, I remember liking that one.
Yeah, it's really
It's a good
good.
one. Good choice.
Yeah, so that'll be back out soon. So I should probably drink the ones I've been saving from last year so I can go get some more and keep them in my fridge all summer. Because that's just how life is going lately. Fucking dumping crock pot broth all over my kitchen, saving beers that I don't drink. It's just, I'm a mess, Jeff. I'm a hot mess.
Bill,
Getting banned from Facebook. What is my life? What is my life coming to, Jeff?
Bill, there might be a shortage on workers at this brewery, so you might have one of the last batches. You don't know in Biden's America.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, it's kind of crazy what's going on right now. Like nobody wants to work. And there's like all these shortages, including labor shortages. People are like, I never really liked going to work. I don't think I'm going to do that anymore.
That's a good Office Space reference, Bill. I was thinking, if I don't get called back for a third year at this school district, I'm just gonna collect unemployment.
Yeah, well, I mean, hopefully it's still around.
My unemployment better still be around. I've been working my ass off for 2 years.
Yeah, I there's a lot of, I don't want to get political or anything, but there's a lot of stuff going on, like especially up in New York with like the vaccines and stuff, where they're trying to mandate like all the firefighters get vaccinated and everything. And I don't want to get into like where I fall on the political spectrum or anything, but somebody had said it's going to get to a point where the only thing you can do if you're unvaccinated is collect unemployment. which is crazy, but that's what makes it funny also. In any case, we're not here to talk about politics, Jeff. We're here to talk about booze and beatings. So here we are. We got another cool card coming up next week. Is it next week? Wow, next week is the 20th already. November is just flying by.
I know, it's glorious. Pretty soon I'll be on Thanksgiving break, Bill. I'll get another break from all this work. I mean, I enjoy it, but
yeah, I mean, how dare they expect you to work at work?
Yeah, it's not that I don't mind it. I would just prefer not to have to work.
Oh, sure. Dude, I wish I could just do this all the time. Like this is my break every week. But yeah, before we get into this card, I just want to acknowledge, I should have done this at the top of the show, that we just celebrated Veterans Day on the 11th. So very happy Veterans Day. Thank you to all the brave men and women who, put it on the line to protect our freedoms And to all the future veterans as well, the active military, thank you all. We're definitely very appreciative. You make it possible for us to do things like this. So um, I hope everybody had an enjoyable Veterans Day, and big thanks to all of you. Let's see. Mark wants to know if his comments are generating enough ad revenue. Yeah, I mean, but the ad revenue just like barely covers my booze, Mark. So we gotta we gotta feed the beast here. It's like I my tolerance has gotten stronger since the show started. So I'm drinking higher proof stuff. I'm buying more expensive bottles.
Yeah, our overhead has changed drastically since the start of the show.
Yeah, it really has. There used to be two of us drinking, and it's still costing me more. All right. So November 20th, Jeff, at the Apex again. Ketlen Vieira against Miesha Cupcake Tate. And I don't know what was said on last week's episode, but I don't think I said it. But our friend Serena De Jesus has changed camps. There were some undisclosed issues with Syndicate, and I guess a bunch of their fighters left, including Sean Strickland and Serena. So now Serena was called in to help Miesha Tate with this training camp for Vieira, and she was wearing an MMA on the Rocks t-shirt and hugging Miesha Tate in a picture. So our t-shirt, Jeff, has touched Miesha Tate. I mean, I feel like we could just end the show. Like we could retire. Like I don't know if we're gonna peak any higher than this.
Yeah, Bill, we've lived the dream, dude. I mean, we've interviewed pro fighters. Um,
This takes the cake, though, Jeff. The cupcake, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might as well go out on top. Banned from Facebook, and Miesha Tate touching one of our shirts. That's it. That's all, folks. So we're not gonna achieve anything higher than this. I don't think.
Yeah, unless Serena gave her one of our shirts, I think, and she wore it in a press conference or something.
Mm.
But yeah, shout out to Reenzilla, dude. She's awesome. So wish her the best of luck, no matter what camp she's at.
Yeah, for sure. Fuck that gym she was at before. I don't even know what happened, but fuck them. I don't have to know what happened, Jeff. That's my friend.
Amen to that, brother.
We got to have her back on the show soon, though. She's such a good time. We always have a blast talking to her. Let's get her back on here soon. Let's just talk about this next week card so we can wrap up here, and I can go watch a movie or Curb Your Enthusiasm. This new season of Curb Your Enthusiasm is excellent, Jeff. I know you haven't gotten into it yet because you're still catching up on Seinfeld. But once you're done with Seinfeld, Jeff, you have to watch Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's so hilarious. All right. So Ketlen Vieira, Miesha Tate. Miesha Tate, after however many years off and having two kids, came back and looked great against Marion Renault. Vieira, much different fighter, much younger fighter. How do you see this one going down, kid?
Damn, Bill, this one's tough, man. I mean, hey, Miesha Tate, all the credit in the world to her. She looked great in her last fight. But I mean, this is an older Miesha Tate, Bill. This isn't, the Miesha Tate who took the belt off of Holly Holm. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man. I cannot tell you. I don't know what she's been working on in the gym, but damn it, Bill, I'm excited for this fight.
Yeah, I mean, one, how do you not root for Miesha Tate anyway after, taking, let's see, the Raquel Pennington fight was 2016. Am I reading that right? Holy shit. So, and it was November. So, like 5.5 years off, having 2 children, living in Singapore, becoming like the president of another MMA organization, and then coming back and and TKOing Marion Renault. Awesome. But uh, you know, and and she's now teammates with our buddy Serena. So like we have to be pulling for Miesha here.
Yeah, she's part
She
of the
touched
team
one of
now.
our shirts for Christ's sake, Jeff.
She's part of the team now, Bill.
Yeah, she's over the top, under the influence, as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned. We're gonna have
And
to send
Bill,
her some bourbon cupcakes.
yeah, dude, bourbon infused cupcakes. Yeah, and we'll have to send her a hoodie too. But Bill, and it feels like Miesha Tate. I don't think she needs to fight anymore, dude. Like you said, the president of I forgot what association was it? Was it Dream that she was president of?
No, it was one.
Yeah, one. I'm sorry. So, dude, that sounds like an awesome job, and Misha Tate's a great ambassador for that. I'm pretty sure that the paycheck for that you know, isn't non-substantial, if that makes sense. I'm pretty sure it's substantial,
Yeah,
but
I'm pretty sure she was making more doing that than she was fighting.
oh yeah, so it feels like she doesn't need to fight. But Bill, I'm glad that she's back, dude. Like even if it's just to prove it to herself, man. I mean, she already proved it. She kicked the shit out of Marion Renault. Um, So yeah, I'm excited, dude.
Yeah,
And it's a chance for Ketlen Vieira too, because she might be able to make a name off of beating Miesha Tate here. And if she can, take the comeback train off the rails here. So
hmm
really interesting matchup.
yeah, it's a fun one. And then the co-main event is great. Michael Chiesa, Sean Brady. So Chiesa trying to bounce back, and he's got this young, undefeated kid in front of him. This is a really fun fight, Jeff. Um, Chiesa like is friggin' huge, man. Like I don't know how that guy makes 170. Forget about the fact that he used to
Yeah.
make 155. But Sean Brady, super well rounded. Um, he's coming off of back-to-back submission wins, and one of them over Jake Matthews, who's a really good grappler, and of course Chiesa known for his grappling. So this should be a really fun fight, Jeff.
Yeah, for sure. And Sean Brady, Bill, I gotta root for him because he's out of Henzo Gracie, Philly, which one of our black belts up here at Henzo Gracie, Fort Lee, Sadeko, is also out of Henzo Gracie, Philly. So he probably knows Sean Brady pretty well. The undefeated Sean Brady. Bill, this is gonna be an awesome fight, dude.
Yeah,
And I agree with you. I don't know how Michael Chiesa makes 170. I don't know how he made what was it, 155, 145 that he was fighting at?
he was 55. I believe on the Ultimate Fighter he was 55. But like when you look at him next to like you look at him next to standing next to like Anthony Smith, and they're like the same size.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. It's
crazy.
like I
That's a
wonder what he
big
walks around at, dude.
that's a big dude. I mean, he's walking around 200 pounds easily,
I
I
believe it.
think. You know, um,
A lot of salt baths to make weight.
yeah, yeah. I'm sure it's tough. Like 155 must have been insane for him. Crazy, especially when he was at 155. He had 14 pounds of mullet. Like,
Yeah,
so
that was never a good look for him.
no, no. If you like grappling, Hani Yaya and Kyung Ho Kang, that's a good one. Joanne Calderwood and Talia Santos. Here's my sleeper pick, Jeff. Adrian Yanez and Davy Grant. Um, Davy Grant, man, I'm a fan. That dude is wild. He's just like I don't know. You think he's like completely out of a fight, and then he's just slinging leather. Everybody thinks he's out of the fight except for him. I love that style, and Yanez is a madman too. I think that's going to be a fun fight. Um, let's see what else we got here. Jumping down the card, Terrence McKinney, fighting again, known unfortunately for knocking out my buddy, Steamroller Favola in 7 seconds in his UFC debut. So he's back at it. This is a tough name. I feel for the broadcasters next week. This opening fight here, Nureddinbek Shayalan. I wonder how they're gonna pronounce that one. Like if it's John Attic and Brendan Fitzgerald or either one of those guys, I'm sure they're gonna nail it. But like, I would look at that and be like, I don't know, guys. What do you think, Jeff? Nureddinbek?
I believe it's Nureddinbek Shalian. That's my guess, Bill.
Oh, okay. You sounded pretty confident there. I'm like, have you heard of this guy before? It sounds better than what I said.
Nureddinbek.
Yeah, and I'll leave it at that. Anything else jumping off the page of you?
Bill, I'm really excited for that Joanne Calderwood versus Tyler Santos fight, man. Santos only has one loss, and Joanne Calderwood, man, I feel like for her, it's kind of like win or leave town, dude, because she has been really hot and cold. You know, when she shows up, she's good. But Bill, I don't know what her record is looking like the last couple of fights. I don't recall her winning too many.
You're talking
So
about
yeah, Joanne Calderwood. I don't know why they have it listed as Joanne Wood on.
yeah, is this the same person?
I certainly, yeah, that's her. They
What?
totally have her name wrong on Sherdog here.
That's because she's at Syndicate. They fucked something up over there.
Fucking knew it.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, hot and cold hits it on the head. Lost to Lauren Murphy, win over Jessica I, lost to Jennifer Maya, who probably missed weight for that one. Win over Andrea Lee, lost to Caitlin Chukagian, win over Ariana Lipsky. Yeah, very hot and cold for Joanne Wood.
Yeah. I don't know if she left Syndicate, but
I mean, according to Sherdog, she's still there. So there's that.
yeah, but I think she's recently there. I think only her last fight camp she was there, or like her last two fight camps, because she wasn't there for. She hasn't been there very long, I don't think.
Mark wants to know if she divorced Mr. Calder. Yeah, imagine that was a hyphenated name. That'd be pretty
I mean,
wacky.
yeah.
In any case, anything else you want to get off your chest, Jeff?
No, Bill, I'm excited, man. I think we're getting spoiled. Like this is MMA Christmas the last couple of weeks, dude.
Yeah, it really is. It's crazy, you know, especially for today. Look at me, I'm yawning. It's 8:22 at night.
Well, you're a dad now, so your life force is being drained every day, Bill.
It's true. It's true. Ariana decided to wake up like an hour and a half early yesterday, and I haven't recovered since. Yesterday was Friday, right? Yeah. Friday she woke me up at like 5:15 or something. Like usually she sleeps till 6:30 or so. 6:45. In any case, if you want to grab some MMA on the Rocks merchandise, now that we're banned from Facebook, I feel like I got to reach out to Team Reaper. Like we need a banned from Facebook shirt.
Yes. Oh man.
You can grab a t-shirt, tank top, or hoodie. It is hoodie season, folks. Order two because you know your girlfriend's gonna steal one. Team Reaper, reaper1.co is the website. You can use the promo code MMA Rocks 10, save yourself 10% on your entire order, not just on our merchandise, but anything you want to buy, whether it's a new jiu-jitsu gi, fighter t-shirt, some sparring gloves, whatever you need. Team Reaper has what you need. And yeah, you can grab our stuff, support the show. I will spend the money on alcohol. I'm just gonna be honest about that. But you know, they're cool shirts. Serena De Jesus likes them, and you know she let Miesha Tate touch it. So there's that. If you want to own a shirt that Miesha Tate has touched, order it through our friends at Team Reaper. As always, I'll put the link directly in the show notes. And stay tuned for the whiskey round, my other YouTube channel that's coming in 2022 or 2023. Absolutely, I will get that on the airwaves at some point, like when I catch up on sleep. So when my kid goes to college, maybe we'll get the whiskey round, show it. You got anything else, Jeff?
No, Bill. Listen, I'm a happy camper. I'm rolling into Thanksgiving. Bill, November is my favorite month of the school year, along with December, because we had the whole first week we had off. Then it's 2 weeks of work. Well, 2.5, and then it's Christmas, and then it's Thanksgiving break, and then it's basically January after that.
So your favorite time of the year is when you don't have to work as much.
Yeah, you know what, Bill? I said it, and I don't regret it either. Because March we have 0 days off, so I'm probably gonna be sick around that time.
That's true. Maybe the day after St. Patty's Day.
Maybe the day before St. Patty's Day.
There you go. I don't even know what day it falls on. Might be on a
17th.
weekend.
It's on the
No,
17th.
but what day of the week, Jeff? I know it's the
with,
17th.
with my luck, it'll be on a Sunday.
I'm gonna have to call out today, Jeff. It's Saturday. Oh yeah, I just wanted to call and let you know I wasn't gonna be in, just in case you were expecting me.
In case you needed me.
I'll be home if you do need me, though. Yeah, we're gonna need you to go ahead and come in on Saturday. That would be great. Jeff, I'm so glad I got you to see two of my favorite comedy movies while you were here last week, Stripes and Office Space.
Dude, Office Space was so relatable, but Stripes was just awesome, dude. Makes me wish I was a loofah.
Stripes is a classic, and it was just way ahead of its time. Like the jokes in that hold up, you know.
Yeah, Bill, it's been little what when did that come out? Like 81?
84.
Oh, okay, so almost 40 years later, Bill, and I still want to be a loofah.
I wish I was a loofah. I think my favorite line is when he's talking about joining the army, and Harold Ramis is like, well, if you want to learn discipline, why don't you just join a monastery or something? And he says, have you ever seen a monk get wildly fucked by teenage girls? Well, I guess being a monk is off the table.
Oh, man.
All right, Jeff. I don't think we can top that. Let's try to get banned from YouTube and Twitter next.
Bill, we might be well on our way with that last comment.
It's it's so funny. Like, most people might get upset by it. I'm like proud. I'm like, Facebook can't stand us.
Told you, Bill,
What an
we're rebels
achievement.
without a cause.
Yeah. We really are. Like, we have no cause. There's no purpose to this except like having fun and laughing every week. Talking about fighting.
Yeah, Bill, but I'm sick and tired of the established order.
All right. Well, I appreciate everybody tuning in despite, not being able to do it on Facebook. So wherever you are, please leave a comment, leave us a positive review. It helps us out a lot. Share the episode, all that great stuff. And we appreciate everybody tuning in. And, maybe we'll get back on Facebook. It was probably just like, watch, I'm going to get an email. Like, it was just like a mistake. I'll be so disappointed. Like, you mean I'm not edgy? Am I not controversial enough to get kicked off of you? What do I have to do? What do I have to do, Mark? Why don't you hate me, Mark? In any case, if you want to get a hold of Jeff, it's at @animal_Wilson, Twitter and Instagram. And you guys know how to get a hold of me. Do it all the time. It's at MMA on the Rocks everywhere on social media. That's all we got for this week. So until next time, cheers, everybody. Goodbye.